Something was wrong with the ceiling. It wasn't the creaking of old wood or pipes. Settling it was the steady, rhythmic sound of footsteps, like someone pacing just a few feet above my bed. I booked the Airbnb because it looked peaceful in the photos. A small, 2-story carriage house behind the host's main property. Private entrance. Entire place to myself. A perfect, quiet spot. To finish a work project over the weekend. When I arrived, everything seemed normal enough. Clean, small, with a faint smell of lemon cleaner. The host, a woman named Marlene in her late 50s, greeted me warmly but kept glancing up toward the roof as she gave me the walkthrough. "The attic stays locked," she said quickly, when I asked about a small pull-string door in the hallway ceiling. "Nothing up there but insulation." Her tone was a little too firm, a little too rehearsed. But I shrugged it off. People get weird about storage spaces. The first night was uneventful until just after midnight. I woke to a soft, steady thump. 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 Above me. At first, I thought I was dreaming. The sound was slow, careful, like someone moving from one side of the attic to the other. I sat up and held my breath. The sound stopped. The room returned to stillness. Old house, I told myself. Wood expands. Roofs settle. But then, just as I was finally drifting off, the pacing started again slightly faster this time. Not random creaks, not the wind. Footsteps. Deliberate. I barely slept. And in the morning, I laughed it off nervously when Marlena asked if everything was okay. She stared at me for a moment too long before nodding, as if trying to read whether I'd heard something. That night, the footsteps returned, but earlier, louder. Around 10 p.m., I was on the couch when I heard a faint dragging sound overhead, followed by a soft tap-tapped directly above the living room. Not pacing, now more like someone testing the floorboards. I muted the TV. The tapping stopped. I stood there in chilling silence, listening so hard that the blood rushing in my ears sounded louder than the room around me. Then I heard it. A whisper, so faint I could barely tell if it was real. A breathy murmur right above the ceiling line. I grabbed my shoes and went outside with my flashlight. The house was quiet from the outside. No lights, no movement. But the upstairs attic window, painted shut and covered in dust, smudged, like someone had pressed their fingers against the inside of the glass. I slept in the living room with all the lights on. By the third night, I was exhausted. I told myself I was imagining things, that staying up late and stressing over work was playing tricks on my mind. But around 1 a.m., I woke to something new. A soft scraping, like nails dragging gently across the ceiling drywall. I couldn't pretend anymore. I texted Marlene, "Are you sure no one has access to the attic?" I watched the 3 dots appear, disappear, reappear. "Finally," she replied. "I'll come by in the morning. Please don't try to open anything." That wording, "try to open anything," made my stomach drop. I didn't sleep at all. When morning came, Marlena knocked on the door with a timid, almost guilty expression. She didn't even step inside before blurting out, "Look, I should have mentioned something, but I didn't want to scare you." My heartbeat quickened. "Is someone living up there?" She hesitated. "Not living." The way she said it made the hair on my arm stand up. She explained that the previous tenant, a man named Elias, had rented the unit for nearly a year. Quiet, kept to himself, but near the end of his stay, he started complaining about noises in the attic. Said someone was watching him through the vents. He became paranoid, accused Marlena spying on him, even tried breaking into the attic multiple times. Then one day, he simply vanished, left all his belongings. Never came back. The police assumed he left town, but Marlene didn't believe that. "There were sounds," she whispered, after he disappeared. Footsteps, movement. But when maintenance opened the attic, she swallowed hard. No one was there. Nothing was touched, but the noises never stopped. She'd sealed the attic door after that, bolted. It's shut, painted over the edges. For everyone's safety, she said softly, just like I told you. I stared up at the ceiling, suddenly aware of the silence. No footsteps, no tapping. Nothing. As I packed to leave, I took one last look at the attic pull-string door. Even beneath the layers of paint, I could see faint marks of scratches around the edges, as if someone had tried to claw their way out, or back in. I checked out an hour later. That night, in my own apartment, miles away, I lay awake, replaying the sounds in my mind. The pacing, the whispers, the dragging, and sometime around 3 a.m., just as I was finally drifting into sleep, I heard it again, a soft, slow thump. Thump. Thump from somewhere above me. Exactly the same rhythm. Exactly the same distance, as if something had followed me home and found a new ceiling to walk on.